Welcome to the 2020 Invitational Tournament. We started today with 18 teams in the regular season, each of them competing in 17 games, and then based on their record, they were seeded into the playoff bracket. In the playoffs, teams squared off with the top seed facing the bottom seed in best of series, most of them best of 7. Interesting note, but all 36 players today were at one point or another playoff contenders in the World Championship Tournament. Here are the updated top 10 team ranks as we head into the finals. Stallion Survivors and Young Guns, each with only 3 losses on the day. Benchwarmers, Serenity Now, 2-time world champions Madison Brothers, a lot of familiar contenders in the top 10. And here we go, the best of 7 finals. Fittingly enough, it is the 1 seed versus the 2 seed, Stallion Survivors versus Young Guns, in a rematch of last year's World Finals.
We won the flip, we're starting down there, they get hammered.
Alright, so it appears Stallion Survivors elect to start on the right goal, so Young Guns will have the hammer for game 1, and the hammer is the team that has the last throw. So Sandino throws to Clavoon with a 3-point bucket, and we are underway. So Stallion Survivors are 2-time world champions. They won in 2014 and 2015, and they are the last team to repeat. But Young Guns are the most recent champions. They won in 2 of the last 3 years, actually, in 2017 and 2019. They also made it to the finals, the World Finals, back in 2013. Now, Stallion Survivors have made it to the World Finals in 4 of the last 6 years, including 2 in a row. They only have 1 loss in the regular season play today, so we'll see if they can live up to that number 1 seed. They are currently up 12-6 in Game 1. So yeah, there are other disc sports out there, but this one is most unique because it requires both consistent throwing and deflecting, as we can see right here. Now, right now, we have a double perfect game going, both teams throwing all buckets, so impressive start. But yeah, learning your partner's throws and how to deflect them is so important. Teamwork does make the dream work. Sandino jumps. Ooh, only 1 point. That's a tough miss, because that puts Survivors on the dreaded 16. And those that are new to the sport, you don't want to be stuck on 16 because that means you need to convert exactly 5 points, as you cannot go over 21. Which is hard to do because it requires a bucket and a direct shot. Young Guns are still perfect. We'll see if Survivors can convert the 5 here. Alright, there's the first 3. Clavoon will need to hit the goal since Young Guns have the hammer. Throw is wide. Only got 1 there, so that puts Young Guns in a position to win this game. All they need is a bucket. There it is. And that is a perfect game. All buckets. Young Guns win game 1 and take a 1-0 series lead. This is a best of 7 final. Stallion Survivors will have the hammer for game 2. So yeah, we started with 18 teams today. 12 of those 18 teams had at least 1 player that was a Final Four contender in prior World Championships. So quite the roster. And that actually includes 3 teams that are world champions. So it was definitely a tough regular season today, as we usually don't see a division or pool with so many high-caliber teams, as that's usually spread out. So today's tournament definitely one of the toughest to date, as Rizzo goes for a one-handed deflection. Originally, it was supposed to be the World Championship. Tried a couple times to hold the tournament. Originally, it was going to be held in Richmond, Virginia, then tried again in Buffalo, New York. Oh, there's a 2. Just didn't quite work out. COVID-19 nixed those plans, but a few players got together, put on the smaller all-star tournament with mostly local players. They did have to keep it small due to restrictions, so there were no spectators, just 36 total players. We even had a much smaller video setup to keep it simple. And while a lot of the top teams are here today, we definitely miss the rest of the teams from around the country, Canada, Europe. It's just not quite the same atmosphere, but we are looking forward to ramping it back up again in 2021. All right, so Stallion Survivors are in the driver's seat. They have the hammer and the lead. Looks like they're playing the numbers game here, so that was a smart catch there. All right, and they're in range, 15-11. Sobolski with the throw. And Rizzo going up the ladder to get that one.
I'm going to go for it. No, don't. Just get the three.
Young Guns trying to figure out the best strategy for this situation. And it looks like they'll put up the points. And that's smart because if Survivors don't get 6 here, that puts them in a position to close out. But Survivors can win this game with 6 points. That was a nice one-handed tip there by Clavoon. See if they can get the 3. Throw back. Looks like it's fading. Only got 1, so looks like Young Guns still have a chance in this game. We'll see if they can get the 4 to close it out and potentially send this game to overtime, assuming Survivors can get their 2. And they do. All right, so Survivors with the hammer, they just need 2 points. There's 1. All right, throws high. Sandino slams it for 1. Great play. So overtime consists of each team going 1 round of throws. Most points win. If the teams match, they do go an additional overtime round. There's 3. It's not rare to see multiple overtime rounds in a game. We'll see how this plays out. It's a good start for Young Guns, putting 6 up, so that puts the pressure on. Survivors already down 1-0 in the series, so they definitely need 6 here. Ooh, looks like that throw died. Just hit the can for 2 points. So that forces them into an instant win attempt. And the throw. No, not going to do it. All right, so Young Guns with a 2-0 series lead. So yeah, there is a slot opening on the front of each goal. If the disc is thrown into the slot or over the top unassisted, that team wins the game. And I think that's what's so exciting. No matter where you are in the game, whether you're losing 20-4 or just simply out of range, you can still come back at any point to win with that shot. So Stallion Survivors really need to keep matching Young Guns here. They're already down 2-0 in the series.
All right, keep it going. No ones.
Young Guns seem to be in a groove, and once that train gets going, it is very difficult to catch up. Yep, they're on a roll like butter. 12-6. We'll see if Survivors can stay perfect here.
9-12.
And they do. That was a nice one-handed tip by Sandino. Now, just to clarify, why are these guys primarily deflecting with 2 hands? I know this always comes up because a lot of casual recreational players will deflect using 1 hand, which has a drink in the other. So this is the sport. It is supposed to be competitive, fast-paced, a lot of scoring, perfect games, overtime. Playing full games using only 1 hand definitely take longer. There are more 1-pointers in those games. There's less opportunity to make great plays like flip-ups. Honestly, it's just more exciting to watch and play games with 2 hands. The games are actually tougher because you really got to be locked in. All right, impressive for Young Guns here. Going perfect rounds to 21. Let's see if Survivors can match and send this game to overtime. Clutch throw by Sandino, 18. And a perfect throw back. So we are going to overtime yet again in Game 3. Young Guns can really put the pressure on. Let's see if they can do it. Ooh, that's a tough miss. Only 1 point. Here's the key. Can they get the 3 back? And they do. So Stallion Survivors here can take this game with 6 points. Let's see if they can get double buckets. There's the first one. And there it is. So Stallion Survivors finish a 6-course meal here in overtime. Very big win. They pull the series in reach 2 games to 1. And they will start Game 4. In case anyone is wondering, the goals are exactly 50 feet apart, measured from the front of each goal. It's a nice flip-up attempt there. And it really is a great social distancing game, as only one team is ever on the court at a time. A little high, but it keeps him on his toes. Sandino makes the bucket. Young Guns, composed of AJ Sobalski and Charles Rizzo, they are in their 10th year. They started competing back in 2011. Rizzo hits a deuce for 2 points. Gian Sandino was on 2 former teams, the Italian Stallions and JC Dynasty. Eric Clavoon, throwing now, is the sport's all-time world champion with 8 titles, and he did so with 3 different partners. Previously, Clavoon won 3 titles with Steve Wojcik as Soul Survivors, and another 3 titles with Dan Clavoon as Rebel Survivors. Oh, just 1 point there, but that's okay. I think that's the advantage of starting the game with 5 points. It gives you that leeway, so if you miss a throw, you're still on your numbers. Stallion Survivors are off numbers with 10, so it'll be a little tougher to close out. They're going to need a 2. And they got one. There it is. Speaking of, there's the 2 they needed. So 12-9. If they can get a bucket here, they'll be in good shape. And they are. All right, Young Guns can tie this game up with 6. Ooh. That one hurts. Well, they could blame that one on a bad bounce, but that's usually an easy play. You just got to make your competitive juices overcome any excuses. So we'll see if they could bounce back. There's a 2. All right, so here we go. Survivors need 6. Well, it looks like our scorekeeper lost track, but we have it right. All right, Sandino getting ready. Nope, still ready. Still ready. And there it is. Nice shot. 18-12. One more 3 will do it. And a perfect throw back. So the miss last round, playing large here, sometimes it really is a game of inches. Young Guns are out of range, and they do need an instant win. Sobalski with the first crack at it. Nothing there. All right, Rizzo has the last shot. Let's see if he can do it. This is very difficult to do. No dice. All right, Stallion Survivors have tied up the series at 2 apiece as we are entering Game 5. Yeah, so this was definitely a different tournament than we're used to. As you can see, both teams using their own disc, but it did make the gameplay go quicker and is certainly safer. Sandino with the flip. Young Guns with a catch there. Some strategy in the early going of Game 5. But yeah, there were hand sanitizer stations today. Courts were spread out double the distance than what is normally done in these tournaments, so there was definitely plenty of space. But no prizes, no money. Very simple setup. Every team was responsible for their own food and drink today. Made for a very safe but competitive tournament. And the weather here is perfect. Very little wind. And if there's no wind, row. Right now, Stallion Survivors are rowing downstream at a steady current. Young Guns trying to keep pace here. That was a big play. They needed that. All right, Stallion Survivors are cruising here. Let's see if they can keep it rolling. All right, that's 2. Trying to be smart, not hitting a 2 on the throw back. Another nice throw back. So that puts them in a great position. Young Guns really need 6 here. Rizzo going for the one-handed deflection. Only got 1.
What are we at? 10. Want to go for it? No, it's a good point. We're going for 17. All right, let's go for it.
All right, Young Guns debating on what they're going to do here, but looks like they're going for an instant win. They got 2.
17-12.
Stallion Survivors only need 4 points to force Young Guns into another instant win attempt. And these are the situations you really have to close out. You can't give the other team an opportunity to come back. So, very big throw coming up here. And they get it. All right, so that's it. It looks like Young Guns do need an instant win, or Stallion Survivors will be taking a 3-2 series lead. No go on the first throw. All right, last throw of the game. Rizzo will have a shot. And the shot in the slot! Instant win! On the last throw of the game. What a clutch shot. This is why you can never be out of a game. You can win at any point. It doesn't matter if you're losing 20-2 or just out of range. If you have the last throw, you can still win the game. And that's what happened. That was obviously a huge moment, a big momentum swing, as Young Guns now have a 3-2 series lead instead of Stallion Survivors. Now, fortunately for Stallion Survivors, it looks like Young Guns were a little jittery on the first couple throws there. Maybe still a little excited from that slot. Laboon jumps to make a bucket. And they get 2. So, based on the numbers, as long as Stallion Survivors can stay consistent, they can take this game to force a Game 7. Ooh, Young Guns really struggling here. Only 3 points on the first 3 throws. Let's see if they can get back on track here. There we go. All right, so 5-6. Stallion Survivors have the hammer and are in the driver's seat. They are literally in a race car right now, speeding down the highway. Young Guns following behind in a bicycle. Whoa, whoa. Wind picked that one up. Laboon tracked it, made the bucket. It's a lot harder play than it looks. Certainly these guys make it look easy, but it's not that easy when the wind picks up the disc like that and pushes it up. Really hard to read sometimes. But that's why these are the best 2 teams in the sport right now. There is no question. They were both in the World Finals last year, in the finals again for this Invitational, which might be considered one of the tougher tournaments based on the field of teams. And the shot, oh, what happened there? Oh, looked like Clavoon thought it would hit for 2, so he purposely went out and smacked 1. Nice deflection. They got the 3 back, so that actually puts them at 15. So that was a smart play.
Huh? We would have been off numbers if that hit.
Oh, absolutely. If it's not,
No, you did the right thing. I just
Looks like their strategy paid off there. They're at 15. Young Guns throwing.
like that.
And that one is just a bit outside. So Rizzo will definitely need to get 3 here.
All right, let's go. Nice.
And he does. So we're all tied up.
All right, we got to close this here. Yeah, go.
Stallion Survivors have a chance to win this game. If they don't, that will open the door for Young Guns to close out with 6. So it's a big round here. Clavoon with the flip. What a play. Wow. Clutch play. It's a perfect example of why deflecting with 2 hands makes for these exciting moments. No way that play is made with 1 hand. And the bucket back. So we will be going to deciding Game 7.
Game 7 of the final.
That was a clutch round by Stallion Survivors. This is it. 1 game to decide the champion of the first Invitational tournament. It's going to be very important to get a good start out of the gate to put the pressure on. And they do with 6. All right, Young Guns do have the hammer, but they're going to have to try to keep pace. It's a nice bucket. Stallion Survivors have been rolling. Even the game they lost on the instant win, they pretty much had that game won.
6-4.
Don't you dare touch his disc. Such a weird year with COVID. Definitely can't wait till next year. But yeah, the last couple games, Stallion Survivors have outplayed Young Guns. Sandino throws. Oh, what a deflection. Looked like that throw died and Clavoon put his hands down at the last second to redirect it into the goal. Nice play. Throw back for 2.
4-11.
Love that number. Yeah.
That's a good place to be for Stallion Survivors. Rizzo makes a flip. And a 3 back. All right, so that keeps Young Guns in it. They're at 10, so Survivors definitely have the advantage at 11. They have the better number. All right, there's the 1. They definitely want to get 3 here, because that would give them 15 to set up the next round to close out. And they do, 15-10. Great slam for Rizzo. It's always important to get in position to make a play, and that's a perfect example of how to do it. All right, so Young Guns keep pace, so that means Stallion Survivors need 6 to close out, and they definitely want to get it here, because that would mean Young Guns would need 5 points exactly, which is hard to do. All right, good throw there, so that's for 3. And that's 21. So Young Guns need exactly 5 points here, or this series is over.
Or do you want it? You do you. Go for it.
Looks like Sobolski will go for the 2. Little outside. Rizzo makes it. Are you kidding me? Got his hands in position and just redirected the disc at the perfect angle. So that gives him a chance to still get 21. And he hits it! We're all tied up. 21-21. Going to overtime. Game 7. It doesn't get any better than this. So no room for error here. Stallion Survivors, let's see if they can put the pressure on in overtime. Low, the flip. Wow, what a play. Clutch. Keeping them in the game. Let's see if they can get the 3. Oh, looks like that throw died. So Young Guns are in position to win this if they can get 6. There's 3. All right, so all it takes is a bucket. A bucket will win the tournament. And there it is. Young Guns win the series 4-3. Incredible finish in Game 7. But honestly, what a series. We pretty much saw everything. Overtime games, the big instant win on the last throw, clutch plays, clutch throws, excellent play. So here's your finals recap. As you can see, Stallion Survivors were the king of buckets in this series, but Young Guns held their own. And the big thing is they won 2 out of 3 overtime games. That was huge. But the instant win, I mean, even though they were outscored in the series, they made the clutch shots when it mattered the most to win it 4-3. So the final ranks for the tournament. This is your top 10 out of 18 teams that participated. Young Guns are number 1 at 31-6. Stallion Survivors number 2 at 31-7. But just an incredible lineup of teams today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.